And what is up?
What is going on out there, Manny and the rest of the world?
What's up, room? Nobody's in here yet. There's a few people following in. We're gonna wait, give it a little bit. Yeah, I just got out of work. Direct, open the door to the room, come in and sit down in front of the computer.
Jump onto the chair. Was there like a certain amount of planes you do every night, or like
Just
tonight?
one. It's just one. It's just one tonight. The overnighter comes in at night, leaves at 5:40 in the morning or something like that.
So you just like as it's coming in, that's what you're taking care of, like an inbound, right? Inbound.
Yeah. Hey, Betty Rubble,
Hey,
you're up.
buddy. Hello,
I'm
hello.
surprised you're awake.
Early morning, or is it a late night?
Late night. For me it's late night. For you it's early morning.
Right, right. You're on that Manny standard time. I forgot.
Yeah, that's right. So the airplane, the overnighters, they come in at night, and Dina, I ask myself that question every freaking night. Why are you up? Is the question. I was working. I was working a day job, and just wanted to hang out with Abel and with some of you people all night long for a little while. Why are you up? You night owl, you.
Well, and me too, man. I tried to take a little nap earlier, but it just wasn't happening, man. Like I closed my eyes, my body's like, nope, nope, nope. Like just thoughts racing. Realistically, man, like let's just say like last night I probably fell asleep like at 5. Then I woke up around 9:30, right around there. You would figure that I should be tired, man, but
Yeah.
no.
Dina, I'm off for the summer. Ah, okay.
Nice.
So you're just playing nothing. You're just being a night owl because you don't have to go to bed early and you don't have to get up early. That's cool.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
While it lasts.
Big Rubble took a long nap after an extremely long day. I hear you. So, not that we necessarily had a topic for tonight. I got some stuff coming up next week. Special guests. And I'm excited about that.
Drum roll.
Not going to say just yet. Well, one of them you guys already know. Trying to narrow down an exact date for Commissioner Norith Golansky. She's Commissioner District 1. Waiting to hear from a couple others. And I have a guest from Florida. We're going to talk cigars next week.
Oh, wow. That's happening, Manny?
That's happening. We're doing a cigar show.
Oh, wow.
With somebody, a bit of a socialite celebrity from Florida. From the Miami area.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that should be a fun evening. And then, besides that, I wanted to talk about freaking customer service down here in the valley. In the valley is horrible. You guys have any stories of bad customer service? Go in a restaurant, they don't smile, they don't say hey, they're just like in a bad mood. Even at the store, even at the retail store or something.
Oh, man.
That bothers me. You've been itching for the cigar show. I know I have been. And she's agreed to it. I'm just trying to find out. I'm going to do it when I'm home next week. That's when I'm going to do it.
Nice.
I mean, the internet here has been pretty good, I have to say. At the Marriott. Good job.
That's been perfect.
Dina says, oh, don't even get me started. Everyone seems to hate working.
For real?
I don't know. Yeah. You know what? And I noticed it mostly with younger people. It's like they're just never happy. They just look at you like, you're going to place your order? Like, I just want to walk out. I just want to tell her, it's usually a her, I'll admit, female, young women. I'm going to say, if you don't want to work here, then go work somewhere else.
You know, I really hate it when I'm like, thank you. And they're just like.
Yeah, they don't say, oh.
Like, next. It isn't.
Sad state of affairs. No lie. They do. I mean, they don't know what hard work is. And years and years and years of hard work.
Yeah.
I'm not saying working, in a restaurant or a fast food. I'm not saying that's not hard work, but you know what? You haven't put your time in. You don't get to complain yet.
Yeah, they look put out, right?
I don't have any
No
good.
fire.
I don't have many good customer service stories here. Why are people so rude and lazy? Rude is right. I don't know. If I was a hiring manager and if I saw that, I'd be like, you know what? It's time to have a come to Jesus meeting. If you don't like it, then you should go find another job. I can help you find another job.
I mean, I think it all starts with a leader, bad leader, bad service. I would hate for like if I have an employee, to ruin everything for what everybody else is working towards. Like you said, have that come to Jesus at that point, because it all reflects on the manager at the end of the day, and it should be that way. So you see lazy employees, you can only imagine what the manager's like.
Yeah, and then you take it a step further. A lot of these kids are not being trained properly on customer service. They're just
Order takers.
they tell them right. They tell them what to do, how to take the order, and that, but they don't tell them greet everyone as soon as they walk in the door. Hey, how are you? Or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But a smile on your face. You know who does a good job of that? Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, I had one bad service experience at Chick-fil-A though. Just one guy, bro, and it was like multiple times. Same guy, same. Everybody's so polite and everything, but not this guy. And he was new, so I haven't seen him around no more. So I'm guessing he did have his come to Jesus thing.
Dina says Abel's right. They call over the manager, and then he gives you the attitude. Also, yeah, I've seen that happen. and like, again, even though Abel had that bad experience at Chick-fil-A, I've had always good experiences, and I don't go there a lot. So the few times I've been there, and these are young people, that work there. They're all young people, high school kids, I guess,
full of
mostly. Energy, and they're smiling, and they're in a good mood. It seems, even if maybe they got some stuff happening, but they greet you with a smile, and I appreciate that. Almost 18 years ago, I was walking in Kmart, and an old man was sitting in the shoe section. And I told him good morning. He freaked and asked, "What did you say?" "It never happens here," he said. Uh-huh. Yeah, that sucks. So, yeah, I didn't have much on tap tonight. I was going to message Bam, but I know he's asking about his doctor appointment today. But I'm pretty sure he's asleep. I'm going to send him a message anyway.
Are they in the same time zone as like Texas?
As you, yeah. I want to ask him what's up with the doctor, what happened at the doctor's office.
Oh, that was today?
Yeah. So I imagine they gave him medicine, prescriptions, a plan of what to do or how to handle his health.
Changes?
Yeah, maybe an appointment with a nutritionist, maybe. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. I look like a bum. I just changed into a T-shirt real quick. I was at work. And it just started raining right now.
2 bums now.
Be here till Thursday. Fly out Friday.
How are you doing with the altitude sickness stuff?
Finally settling into it. It's drinking a lot of water. That's what you got to do. Drink a lot of water. Otherwise, it will mess with you. It will mess with your everything. Shortness of breath. You can get dizzy. You can feel nausea. You can feel very sleepy. It's like you don't want to get out of bed. And for some, it can make dizzy. But if you keep hydrated, that should take care of it. And then it can take you anywhere from a day to 4 or 5 days to get used to it.
And are you coming back and then going back to the same location?
Coming back to the same place. Manny, the news I told you about COVID vaccine has me thinking we need to be more careful because the new variant is here and they're not reporting on it.
I was hearing about that.
So I don't know. Somebody told a doctor or a nurse or a PA told someone that they've been hearing about problems with the Pfizer and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And I've only heard problems about Johnson and Johnson and Moderna. I've got the Pfizer, and apparently some people who've taken the Pfizer and the Johnson and Johnson are coming up positive with COVID tests.
Wow.
But I just don't know how widespread that is. And there was a report on probably Fox News that positives are on the up and up. More states are reporting more positives.
Oh, even here, I was hearing in the Valley, I think Hidalgo County, that the judge put out one of his little statements saying that, or the mayor or the judge, one of them, that hospitals were, starting to get filled up again.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that heads.
Yeah, and I just wonder if that's regular COVID or is it the new Delta variant that they're talking about? I mean, nobody said we were in the clear just yet, right?
No, they just changed the law to no face mask required and business as usual, but they didn't say we're in the clear.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. You know how, remember the Democrats got on a couple of airplanes and took off? Oh, you know that photograph they took in the airplane? Nobody's wearing a mask, right?
I didn't catch that, man. I totally forgot that.
Yeah, nobody's wearing a mask. So I guess the mask mandate is officially over. I guess unofficially over. And, it's all about perception. So nobody's ever doing it. And then even I commented today that Joe Biden was giving a speech. At the end of his speech, he coughed into his hand, and then he started shaking hands and touching people and stuff.
That's crazy. Man,
no masks over there either.
They're clear there.
Indoors. Yeah, this was covered by C-SPAN. And so I guess, the mask mandate. I don't know. I wonder when they're going to. So September 13th is when the mask mandate for the FAA, which means at airports and, any bus stops or train station, that kind of thing, any transportation, major transportation. The 13th is when it's supposed to be over.
So there will be no more masks required at the airports, in the airplane.
As of right now, they can always extend it. But that is the plan.
So have they done that already in the past? Like to where there's the deadline and then they extend it?
Yep. They just did it once, and that's this time. They extended it from.
Oh, okay.
It was, I think it was June, and then they extended it to September. Abel's right. Hidalgo has been on the ball reporting numbers. Then again, look how much assistance they're getting because of they report correctly. Yeah.
Who knows what's happening here, man?
I don't know what's in. Yeah, I know. How can you know anything when numbers are sketchy at best?
Days behind or whatever.
Yeah. So I invited our little friend Brenda from last night to come back with us tonight, but I think she's working. She was starting a new job today. And I think she's still working right now.
Work comes first.
Yep. So one of the things coming up in the next, I don't know, when do you want to do this? Abel, we expressed interest in Abel interviewing me for a change. Have somebody interview me. And he said he would take on the task.
So when are you actually off this week, or what do you want to do?
I'll be off Friday.
Oh, but you're flying back, right?
Yeah. I'll be in the air, but I'll be free that night, or Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday.
What do you think we do the Saturday show?
We can do a Saturday show if you want.
That will work.
And so we will put that announcement out as soon as we nail down 100% that date.
Yep.
Let's see. What else here? Oh, so remember the Washington Redskins?
Yep.
Where now it's called the Washington Football Team.
Right.
They came up with a name, and they were going to propose it, and then they decided not to propose it.
What was it? I didn't get to read it, man. I want to hear that.
Because they said it was still offensive, and so they were going to use the Washington Warriors. because warriors being kind of a generic term. However, somebody in their little group said, well, Indians were warriors, so it can still take somebody off. So they scratched it.
Wow.
So my suggestion to them was to talk with the Native American, Native Indian community, talk with their leaders, make it like a public forum, because I want to hear them say, well, none of that is offensive to us. Use whatever name you want.
Why not? I mean, that's like wouldn't you want like a football team that was wearing Manny behind the mic helmets? You know what I mean? And you'd be like, no, he might find it offensive. He might find it offensive. Like, that doesn't make sense. Come on. So that's beyond the offensive thing. It's just all part of that canceling stuff, right?
It is, because you've got the actual culture, which is the Native American community, and then you've got activists who are saying, "Oh, that's offensive to them," when it really isn't. They're just starting some crap, and they're jumping in and causing a problem where there isn't one. That's what all this stuff was about. That's what all this has been about: statues and
remove anything that represents anything that isn't what they wanted.
Boom!
What they want out there.
There you go. This is the way to call it. The Washington Weasels. That looks good to me.
That wouldn't offend, or might offend the Weasels, though.
Yeah, no offense to the Weasels, please. They're nice animals. Don't bother them.
Wait, what kind of weasels? Southern weasels, or?
I always wonder if they are offended or just upset that they aren't getting culture recognition. They're, for the most part, they're not. I mean, I think they spoke on the Redskins. Maybe not the Redskins. I know they spoke on the Atlanta Braves. I think it was Atlanta Braves, and there was some other logo that they said that's not offensive to us. Somebody from their culture came out and said that's not offensive to us. I don't know what the big deal is, but I'm telling you, you got people out there that are.
It's offensive to the other people.
Stirring the pot.
It's offensive to the other people, not to them.
And that's the problem with, identity politics. You can't.
It's like the Patriots. What are they? How come they don't say, "Hey, the Patriots"? Well, why Patriots? Like, it might be offensive to the original Patriots, the people who first landed here and their descendants from the Patriots. And
somebody might find it offensive.
The Cowboys. You know what I mean? Indians and Cowboys, dude. There can be a Native American team. They're like, no, that's offensive, but you can have the Cowboys. Which was.
Well, look at the Cleveland Indians, the baseball team. They're not going to change their name. He said it. He said, we're not changing our name. And if I'm not mistaken, the Indian community said, that's not offensive to us.
Right? They got better things to worry about, like casino money and oil money.
South Carolina removed the General Lee statue. Yep. The next day we'll cancel reruns of Dukes of Hazzard because of General Lee and the flag on the iconic car. I don't know. Remember when they canceled Live PD?
Oh, yeah.
But they never canceled Cops.
Yeah.
What's up with that? I wonder if they're bringing back Live PD. I mean, it's all dumb. It's all stupid.
That Mississippi flag, too. You know how they changed that? It's a good thing, I guess. I mean, when you're flying it over, like the Confederate flag, flying it. Basically, they're flying a Confederate flag in their state still.
I was looking at some of these programs that I used to watch when I was a kid. I was talking about this with somebody. All in the Family. We talked about this before. All in the Family, The Jeffersons, movies, Blazing Saddles, even the movie Airplane, the movie, that funny one, that's got racist stuff in there, here and there, sexist things also in there. I mean, you can pull out a bunch of movies that are out there still. I'm surprised they haven't gone after them, or I don't know.
Yet, yeah.
They're very picky at what they're going after.
And it's mainly, if you look at it, the things that they're taking down are the things that are open to people, like a whole team, right? we can't represent the Native Americans, wearing this on our helmets, which is a whole entire team, which is people flying flags with a Native American on it, which is people buying jerseys with a Native American on it and representing that out in the public. Like, we don't want to see that guy's face. We don't want to see the redskin on anywhere. I just want to walk out of here and just see a big W. I don't want to see that. That's kind of crazy, bro.
Yeah.
They don't want it in the view, like on the Aunt Jemima thing. How was it bothering people? They would see it on every shelf. So I would say that these people were actually disgusted by seeing. These are the racist people, bro. They're disgusted by seeing, oh, there's an African American on that. I cannot believe that.
Yep.
There's a Native American on that. I cannot believe it. So if they can wipe out all that stuff, it's a comfortable zone for them to walk in, and they don't have to.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're going to get rid of the Quaker Oats guy. I mean, he's a white dude, but he can be offensive.
Yeah,
the Quaker dude is offensive to somebody. What about KFC? Yeah. Colonel Sanders, isn't his picture or his image on the logo? Or maybe it's not anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know if it is. I'm going to check right now. Oh yeah, it is. It's right there. You got that little white suit, the little black tie. I forget what you call those little ties, but indicative of the South back then. They haven't canceled him yet because he's white. Is that right?
Right. I mean, it's safe for people to walk out and see that, but we can't see things from the past. We can't see. Basically, they're trying to. I don't want to say like this. They're trying to make America white, because if you look at it, they want all history wiped out. We don't even want to remember Aunt Jemima. Where is she? Where'd she come from? Man, this syrup's so good.
Oh, so you're saying that they're saying that that's offensive to the blacks, but really what they're trying to do is take any representation of blacks or native or any people of color.
That's just what clicked in my mind.
Off the shelves, kind of like a reverse psychology thing.
Yeah, on a mass level, because when you mentioned the movie stuff, I was like, well, these are movies that not a lot of people see, so it doesn't make a difference. But when you walk out to Walmart every day and you see, for example, the Aunt Jemima, or in Washington, you see the Redskin. Because why isn't it offensive to have the Cowboys? Like, I'm a Cowboy fan. I would hate for that to go away. But I'm also, half Native American. So I say, it doesn't weigh out, bro. Like Cowboys and Indians. It's okay to have the Cowboys, but we got to wipe out the Native Americans from the NFL. That's weird, bro. That's weird. And then all the other, like if you look at syrups, Hungry Jack, it's still out there. It doesn't have nobody's face or anything, but there's so many syrups.
But for Jack, some reason, that's such a white name. Yeah. Jack.
Yeah. So it's like, just take off the face. We don't want to see. It's not offensive to the people, but it's just, like you say, reverse psychology, bro. That's what my mind is seeing right now.
That's a good one. That's that's very possible. That's very possible. Then I was we were talking about. Well, I wanted to bring up before racial appropriation. You know how some people get offended when a white dude is wearing dreadlocks?
Oh, I heard of that. Yeah.
And they say, you can't do that. That hair doesn't belong to you. That belongs to
Lil Wayne.
To people of Jamaica or Africa, even, and their descendants in Jamaica. And then people, they cut it out. They stop it. I'm like, man, it's one thing to have a cancel culture, and it's another thing to bow to the cancel culture. I don't care if somebody's wearing a sombrero.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't care. You want to wear a mariachi suit? Okay. You want to eat my tacos, enchiladas, burritos, chimichangas, and all this crap that's not even real Mexican stuff? Go ahead. I don't care. It's not going to offend me. Yeah. So I don't know why dreadlocks when somebody wearing dreadlocks claiming that it's offensive or an insult to Jamaican people. Or when you dress Japanese, whatever that might be, and somebody getting mad at you because that's Japanese, you can't wear that. Like, and this is the land of the free. I can wear whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
when I want, even if it's offensive to somebody. You know what? That's what this freedom gives us: the freedom of speech. Now,
I think
if you're being vulgar about it, well, then that's a whole other story, and that's a different conversation. But
yeah, yeah. I think it's still. I mean, how old is our country, man? It's embarrassing for me to ask, right? What is it, like 300 years or something?
oh yeah,
Right around there, something like that. Um, for I don't know how long, there was separation of everything. There was a colonial people, settlers or whatever, pilgrims, and so I believe now that I came to that one point where they were like, "Oh, we free the slaves and immigrants are here and this and that and everything is cooled down." It was burning on fire before, so now instead of them continue to fight the racial battle, they just say, "Oh no, we're all good, we're all fine," and the country really is still going through that way of phasing out other
yeah,
races until it's just that one country of Americans, and they're doing it right in front of our eyes. We'll be dead by the time that would happen. I hope it
yeah,
does, right? But if you look at all the little things that are happening, they're bigger than what we don't even pay attention to because we're
yep,
too caught up by the news saying, well, it's because it's offensive to these people, and in reality, I mean, they're wiping it out. They're just wiping it out until everybody forgets their roots and forgets everything, and then we're just all 100% American.
yep. This is true, and that's the problem with this CRT, critical race theory.
Hmm. I haven't really heard
They
or read or.
Critical race theory pushes that your race, your skin color, is more important than you being an American. Your
Hmm.
skin color comes first. So the Constitution says all men are created equal.
Right.
You come to this country, you're an American. You're an American. Once you become a U.S. citizen, you're an American.
The rights are equal to everybody
Yeah.
else.
But CRT wants to say that white people are evil, white
Hmm.
people are bad, and if you're white, you're pretty much racist. And in a nutshell, that's what it says. And people of color, being whatever race you are, that's the most important thing. Not that you're an American, and that's really undermining the Constitution.
That's crazy.
And so, really, CRT is creating division.
Oh, okay. I see now. I see where you're going. Wow.
Instead of saying, we're all one, we're all together. No, he's this, she's that, he's this, I'm this, and all this. It's all different. So, you get into this thing, tribalism, and that's what they're trying to do is get everybody to be strong in their own little group, not as a country, but as a group. And again, that's what we're getting into identity politics.
Wow.
So, I mean, just like the LGBTQ community, the trans community, somebody comes out and says, "Hey, that's offensive to the LGBTQ, everybody." But you know what? But they don't speak for everybody. Not all LGBTQ people feel like they've got negative stuff happening to them, or they don't feel offended. So you can't. That's the problem with identity politics, is that you can't do that and cover a whole people, because not the whole. You can't. One person can't represent the whole group, because the whole group doesn't agree with that one
Doesn't
person.
think the same, right? Like Speedy Gonzalez, bro. Why did they cancel Speedy?
It's stupid, man. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb on the people that bow to these people.
And
Oh, let's
whoever,
let's
yeah.
take Speedy off. Let's take what was it? Pepe Le Pew. Yank
Yeah,
him off.
I mean, the power that these people hold, I wonder, I mean, how does that even happen, dude? Like, how many people, how many signatures do you need? Or how can
There's
those
none.
signatures
There's
be
nothing.
verified? Like, what is it? Like,
There's
cancel
nothing. There
culture?
are no signatures. There's nothing. They just somebody gets on and they say that's offensive to our group, the LGBT, or to it's offensive to women. That the skunk is in a cartoon TV, falling in love with this woman. And they go as far as almost calling it a rape because he's
Yeah.
trying to lock her in a room, but it's a freaking cartoon.
So then, like, somebody just spreads a fire, like on Twitter or something.
Yeah.
and then the company starts seeing their stocks drop or something,
That
and they just
happens.
fold. That's what it is, I guess, something like
People
that.
fold. That's exactly right. Somebody goes, "Oh man, somebody said something on Twitter. We better take off all the Pepe Le Pew cartoons out." And it's dumb. You know, the thing to do is ignore the cancel culture.
Yeah, so it's not like an actual like. There's no petition. There's no court hearing. There's
Uh-uh.
no none of that.
It's all the court of social media. You know that singer,
Whoa.
the singer Billie Eilish. You know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
singer.
yeah. Of course.
She came out in a bathing suit once, and on her Instagram, and people started attacking her. How dare you come out in a bathing suit showing your body? How dare you? And they were trying to cancel her.
Wow.
And I would say, man, go smoke a rope. The vaccine doesn't protect from COVID. I don't know if it does or if it doesn't.
Why do you believe that, Miss Elizabeth?
Well, I know she's a very, very, very anti-vaccine um, American, and that's
Well,
their right. You know, if you don't want it, you don't want it.
that's how I am too.
I just took it to
Um,
be safe. I'm diabetic, type 2
yeah,
diabetic. I did it to be safe. I work in front of the public. I don't
so
think it was going to be
definitely.
harmful to me. I hope it's not harmful to me. So far, I'm okay. I think generally speaking, they're okay. I think if you got some deep internal problems that you may not even know about, that COVID could get you, or a vaccine might hurt you, but that doesn't mean the vaccine itself is bad.
I see. I mean, it's just like to me, for example, it's just there's side effects. I don't want it, but even if it's a minor risk and there might be, it's just like taking Tylenol. There must be a side effect to that. I don't even want to take that. I don't know.
Yeah, there probably is. Betty Rubble. In the 70s and 80s, people were called names by their nationality. Honky, Spick, the N-word. Yeah. Kike, greaser, greaseball, the wetback, all that stuff. But you know what? Everybody went on with their lives. Maybe they got into a fight. They'll get into a fight. You get offended. You handle it with your fist on the spot, and then guess what? It's over. Everybody walks away, and you move on with your life. You don't make a federal case out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't go and take Aunt Jemima from the shelves. I can totally understand like the racial slurs and how they can affect a person, right? A citizen, since all citizens are created equal, right? So okay, if there's one word that offends a group, then okay, right? Let's try to stay away from it, and everybody finds some sort of peace. But when you're doing it to an entire football team, is different, And it's not like there's a bad word on the
Yeah.
helmet. Right?
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. Like I was talking about before in Canada, they passed C-16 bill, a bill, and that bill made it a law that you must call someone by their pronouns in the case of LGBTQ. Somebody who's trans and they wanted their pronoun to be, them or they, you had to call them that. Otherwise, they could sue you.
Wow.
And take you to court, and you can get penalized. And if you didn't pay the fine, then you end up in jail. So just like Dr. Jordan Peterson has a problem with that, I said, yeah, so do I. That's a you are getting into people's free speech. I don't have to call you by law. I shouldn't have to call anyone anything. It's my freedom of free speech. I can call anybody whatever I want to.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to be an a-hole. We talked about this before. If there's a trans woman that went, male to female, and she's living as a female, and she wants to be addressed as a female, I'm not going to be rude on purpose. I'm going to say she or ma'am or whatever. That's beside the point. But the law shouldn't dictate that you must call them something.
No.
The law should not dictate that. So I got a problem with that too. There are people dying from vaccine, from the side effects. Yeah, I mean, I hear more about that more and more, but I still don't know enough about it. I don't know if that's true or not.
I gotta check. There's a country that already has some kind of statistics. I have it saved on one of these messages my friend sent me, but I have to look for it. That it claims that this vaccine has killed, I think it was 435% more than any vaccine altogether has, like from all the vaccines that exist.
Mhm.
How did those stats break down? I'm not sure. I'll gotta look for the article tomorrow.
See, and that's what's needed. Data. You got to look at the data. Somebody needs to break down all the data and see. The main thing being, was this person already sick? Did they already have an underlying condition, pre-existing condition? That's got a lot to do with it. But they're not reporting that too much. Poor Aunt Jemima. I agree. Go ahead, take my maracas, right?
Yeah, right.
Take the maracas, take the sombrero. I don't care. Use it. You like it? Use it. They're gonna offend me? Nope.
No way, bro. You start shaking the other maracas with them. Like it's like, wow, cool, man. We're our cultures are, you're learning it from. I don't know. I love that. I love for other cultures to teach me things, and for them to grab the maracas, like she said, and just start shaking them around. And
Yeah. I remember some female was wearing a Japanese kimono, and then somebody got offended and said, "Hey, you can't wear that. That's Japanese. That's not your culture. You can't wear that." This was on Twitter a couple of years ago.
wow.
And you know what? Tell that to the Japanese. Are they offended? You know what? You know what they like to wear over there in Japan? Levi's, blue jeans. They like to wear blue jeans. They're made in America. There's a special brand, a special model of Levi's that they look for, and they'll pay money. They pay $2-3 grand.
Wow.
Used. And they like that. Is that offensive to us?
Not one bit.
No. It's like, I want to find them some and just give it to them. Say, hey, you like blue, Levi's? Let me send you some. Uncle Ben. Yeah, that too. Uncle Ben. And Aunt Jemima. And the native Indian girl from Land O'Lakes.
Oh, yeah, Land O'Lakes.
They were the first victims. Hey, Rachel.
Hello.
How you doing, Rach?
Good evening.
Good evening. Pepe Le Pew. Yeah. So dumb. God.
Even on the new Space Jam movie that's coming out this Friday, I think they had a whole role for Pepe Le Pew before he got canceled. So they had to go back and edit all that. I think he remained canceled. I'm not sure, man.
There are also people dying without the vaccine.
Right.
That's exactly right. And I know that they're going to want to connect everything to the vaccine. And Elizabeth, you probably want to connect everything to the vaccine. Everybody who's dying connected to the vaccine, but I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. Unless there's hard data, you could do autopsy on every single person that dies and figure it all out, and then show me some raw data that says somehow, yes, I was connected to the vaccine. Just don't take my flag. Damn straight.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats who went to Washington, D.C. are running away, and is it solving problems of voting? I know. The way to do it is to be here, talk about it, and work some kind of crap out. Work it out. That's what to do. Negotiate, right? Do away with the following: curbside voting, 24-hour voting, Sunday voting, drop-off boxes to drop off ballots. Eddie Lucio III was in the bunch as well, besides Alex Dominguez. Yeah, I saw that today. This will also delay the 13th check for retired teachers.
Hey,
Man,
so
see?
What were they saying about, all of them people? They're going to be, there I go saying them people. All the people who fleed,
Democrats.
right? Yeah. All the people who fleed, that they're going to be detained or arrested. When they get back.
I mean, I don't know the legality of it, but Governor Abbott signed something that said yes, they should be here working. Don't discard your duties in protest. So the reason they left is like, oh well, we're going to leave, so they can't do anything. They can't vote.
Oh, I see. They're like blocking up everything there. Wow.
Yeah, and they left, and something in the law apparently says Governor Abbott can have them arrested and compel them by law to get back to work and do your job. And
What do you
some of
think,
these things, yo, Roy, what's up?
Roy?
I was going to say, I'm surprised you're up late, but it's not surprising, right? It's not surprising. Hope you're doing good, man. I'm offended by these guys who have better hair than us women, or those that eat junk and are skinny.
Oh man, yeah, those junk guys. Yeah,
So offensive,
how's that possible, man?
right? Yeah. So
Look, I was like here talking about that previous comment that Elizabeth had put up. Was it Elizabeth? Yeah,
this one,
yeah. So about like curbside voting and drop off boxes. Look, I got this little article here that said USPS subcontractor Jesse Morgan says he drove 144 to 280 completed ballots for the 2020 general election to Pennsylvania. When arriving in Pennsylvania, he was made to wait for 6 hours and spoke with the transportation supervisor, who he said was a top guy that he never spoke with. The supervisor refused to give him a ticket slip to show that he arrived. He unhooked his trailer and parked his truck, only to find the next day that his trailer filled with completed ballots was gone without any explanation. And he says, I know I saw ballots with return addresses filled out, thousands of them, thousands loaded onto my trailer in New York and headed for Pennsylvania. Jesse Morgan says that when he gave this information to the FBI, instead of investigating the claims, they harassed him and his family. So that's crazy.
huh? Yeah. See, there's too much.
I
There's
mean, if
too much access to these ballots.
yeah, if there's an opportunity for it, the opportunity should be like taken away. You know, if there's a chance for a mail-in ballots to get lost, there should be a better way to collect them. Or
Honestly, I think people who work the elections, I think they need to be held to a higher standard. I think something has to happen. They got to be like sworn in or deputized or something, or do background checks and all that. There's too much funny business going around with these freaking ballots.
yeah.
No work, no pay. If we did that to our non-political job, we would be fired and lose our benefits.
Oh,
That's right. Dino's laughing at probably the offender at the better hair. Curbside voting is not part of the problem. Yeah, that's right. It's not. That's a. I mean, some areas of Texas, you can vote for 24 hours around the clock.
So curbside voting is just like pulling up, like here, like fill out your ballot and put it in
Yeah.
there. That's cool. Right.
I think the only thing they wanted to do really was cut down on the hours. Instead of 24 hours, they wanted to make it like 20 hours or something like that.
I wouldn't see why. But
Christina, nice to see you.
hello.
You're up very late. Thanks for stopping by to say hi. I'm sure Christina, you got something to say about early voting, don't you? Early voting and voter ID laws. And see, I told you I came to defend the Democrats. She said, oh, that's okay. You can defend them. But they should be there. They should be there at work, not in D.C. Right? Audits going on in swing states. Yeah. Well, this thing came out earlier today that they found irregularities in Arizona. The amount of signatures didn't match with the amount of votes. So that's a finding that just broke tonight.
I mean, and there's been a few findings, but what's going to happen with it? I say nothing. I mean, it would be awesome if it was just more like disclosed more to the public to raise awareness. But
well, I mean, I don't think it's going to make it's not going to turn over the election and give it to Trump, and then he's going to become president next week. I don't think that's going to happen, but it will bring awareness, and it will say, "Hey, look, guess what? There was shady crap going on."
I mean, and honestly, man, if it was vice versa, man, I stand up for the rights, the country, everything that was put into place while voting for an official, right? If it was, to me, it's not a Republican or Democrat thing. It's just if there's a doubt, we got to find out what's up with it. Nantucket.
This is so good. I'm dying to eat these right now, but at this hour, I'm not going to touch them. But if you guys haven't had these, they're so good.
I've had some Pepperidge Farms, but not those. I don't think so.
Smells good. I'm not going to eat any. It's too late. I like the curbside voting, especially for those that are handicapped. Yeah, exactly. That stuff works. Keep it. Jokes tonight. Oh, come on. You surely can take a joke, huh? Get Morgan Graham to be on the show. I will ask her. I plan on doing that next week. That would be very interesting. I know a lot of people don't like Ms. Graham. And I'm not exactly sure why. I have an idea why, but there are a few things I'd like to ask her. Are there consequences to what? To the Democrats not showing up to work? Yes, there are. They absolutely are. That's why Abbott did what he did, Governor Abbott. I always vote early. My grandparents were different and didn't feel patriotic if they didn't vote on the official. Me too. I was never, not that I wasn't a fan of it, but traditionally, election day is the day you vote. But as you get older and you work and you change, your life changes. All of a sudden, early voting becomes a necessity.
Add it to your schedule, right?
Share some. What am I sharing? Oh, cookies? Yeah. They're so good. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to have any tonight. I'm not, Christina. I'm not. I just, you know how I get rid of the.
There you go. There you go.
Okay. All right. I'm good for the night. I'm not going to eat. I don't have to touch those. I don't. That's willpower, I know, right? Oh, man, it's so good. I had some of this earlier.
Chobani.
Coconut. Oh, my goodness. This is the best one ever. And I added
blueberries.
Some blueberries to it.
Fresh blueberries.
Holy mackerel. That was so delicious. That's a good snack. Nantuckets are good, right, Dina? You know what I'm talking about. You know it. Roy. Love Morgan. Yeah, I'm going to ask her. On. I think I'm going to bring back Myra also. Because Myra's got her opponent now for the Texas 34th. And ACLU lawyer. Well, at least for a little bit.
Oh, I saw that. Flores?
Yes, I think so, yeah. And that's, I'll save my opinions on that till later. Consequences to voting irregularities? Well, there will be, but, I mean, it's not going to turn over the election. You know, I don't care. Joe Biden is in there. He can stay in there. And there's a conspiracy theory amongst the Democrats that Kamala Harris is going to try to evoke, I forgot which amendment, to knock Joe out so she can take over. Yeah, it should be an interesting next 12 months.
An interesting next 4 years.
Next 4 years, no.
Or whatever,
2 years left, 2.5 years left, whatever. So, you know, Kamala Harris is so awful. She's horrible. She can't be put on the spot. She doesn't speak well. She cackles. Something is funny to her, evidently, all the time.
Yeah, that's tough to be taken serious when you're in front of world leaders, right? Making decisions with the world.
Oh, I mean, her big faux pas was on TV with Lester Holt when he asked her, "Have you been to the border?" And she just laughed it off and said, "Well, I haven't been to Europe either." And it's like, wrong answer. Right. Wrong answer.
Haven't been to Europe either.
Well, where are you getting your information from? There are about almost a dozen different places where I go and I gather my data. Not just Fox News, like you might think. You have to go beyond that. There's some hardcore outlets to every party, and there's real data out there, and you have to filter through theories and look for real data, real information, real people, real conversations, and look up real laws. And it's tiring. I don't do it all the time because I don't have that much time to waste. And okay, I'm going to jump ahead, but that's very funny. The National Enquirer doesn't count. I do realize that. Yeah, the National Enquirer and CNN, same ballpark right there. So,
well, I guess I'll throw out my National Enquirer.
And I was just like David Letterman. Remember, he used to throw his cards back when he was done with them. Myra has a very good chance next year for Congress. Yeah, she does. She's got a very good chance. She started early. She's out there in front of everybody, everywhere, all the time. And that's what you got to do. And she's doing it right. And she seems to have her head on her shoulders properly. Intelligent young lady. And I wish her all the luck in the world. I heard a rumor that before the inauguration that Kamala would be in Oval Office within 6 months. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Where are we at now? Month 7.
7 months?
Yeah, almost 7. Just about 7.
Yeah, I mean, those are just rumors, right? Like, I mean, I heard the same thing,
But even in her own party, Christina, you come on. All jokes aside, look at her. She's no. Just no. That's all I'm going to say is no. She's cocky and ignorant, and she cackles. The National Enquirer doesn't like her. Yes, DNA and aborted baby body parts are in the vaccine. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I know people that are anti-vaxxers are going to come out with all kind of data, kind of false information.
I know that a lot of stuff has to do with what is it thing that the kids donate? The babies donate some.
Oh, the plasma, the
placenta, and then something plasma, in the umbilical cord. And there's a name for it. I forgot, but
sure, send it to me. I'll check it out. Totally interested in it. Good night, Ms. Macias. Thank you for hanging out for just a little bit.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Myra was at CPAC this past weekend in Dallas. Yeah, I saw all the photos. Looked like a fun event. I know at one point the power went out, and there's, of course, conspiracy theorists saying somebody tried to cancel the day. But I think a lot of good things happened at CPAC. This is not rumor. Biden cannot do the job. He is deteriorating before us. He is. Although today he was on his meds. I don't know, the last couple of days he's been on his meds or whatever they got him on.
There's something wrong with this guy. Yeah, I mean,
he was. I wonder. I don't know. I wonder if they. He doesn't today and yesterday. He actually looked a little more normal, if you want to use that word. But since January, he's been like in a coma. So I wonder if they're keeping his meds from him, except for at some. I don't know.
It's weird, man. It's like if he's about to go hit the piñata, so they spin him 90 times, and they just take off the blindfold and let him go. Okay, go talk on the podium now.
And you hate to say that about you don't want to insult your elders, right? He's the president. Yes, he's our president. But at some point, it's elderly abuse.
Yeah,
I mean, they're making him do stuff. He's not fit to be up there. He's not. You gotta. I don't care what side you're on. Doesn't matter side. You have to think about. It's like a fight. It's like a heavyweight fight in the 9th round. He's getting beat to a pulp. At some point, you got to pull the plug. Throw in the towel. I agree. Biden and Kamala aren't running our country. It's probably Soros and Obama. I don't even think it's Obama. He's been quiet, and he'll come out every month and he'll make some kind of stupid comment. George Soros, definitely. That's the money man right there.
Something is happening because I mean, you know what I don't like? Like, okay, bro. So when it comes to it affecting us directly, it might, the whole Republican Democrat thing. But at this point, these are leaders who are showing their face to the world, man. If there's going to be let's say a freaking a war, right? That's the leader. You're going to see Joe Biden there. All the other countries are laughing, which is just it's bad. I mean, that's shows weakness. Unfortunately, shows weakness to a lot of other countries. Um, I mean, that's the leader of the country that he goes and represents us in the world. Just how there's a senator that goes and represents us, or the guy in Congress represents us in the state level, and the governor represents us at his level, and so this guy represents us on a worldwide level.
Yep. Here is a true statement if I've ever seen one. Don't even need to read the rest of the article. Read that headline right here.
Cuban protests should remind Dems that no one flees to socialism, only from it. Yep.
In big capital letters. Cuban protests should remind the Dems that no one flees to socialism. They only flee from it. Nobody's running over there. Tell me somebody sees all that going on in Cuba. So, I want to go live in Cuba.
Yeah. Come on.
You see those pictures of those hospitals that I put up from Cuba?
That's crazy, man. That doesn't look
they say socialist medicine is the best. They're proud of that crap. And
I mean,
is that what you want?
Free healthcare. Yeah, to go to that hospital, bro. That hospital looks like a scene from Hostel. You remember those movies, Hostel?
Oh yeah. Hostel. So, yep.
I mean, free healthcare. I mean, it sounds awesome, but look at their system.
The concept sounds nice, but guess what? Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Nothing. Somebody somewhere ends up paying for everything. Nothing is free. Joe Biden is, it's rumored that he's going to do sign an executive order to cancel student debt. But that doesn't mean it's free. Somebody's paying for that. Somebody's going to have to pay for that.
Well, I mean, the debt thing going to go away. This is going to go away from the students, right? But that money still has to reappear.
It can be put on the taxpayer. Yep.
Somehow it has to come back.
I thought presidents needed a full psych evaluation and physicals. Trump was healthy like an ox. He was, and he is. And Biden isn't, so I don't know how he slipped through. Unless he was okay and then he deteriorated. That's entirely possible. The world must be laughing. Oh. To China and to Russia, we're exactly right now where they want us to be. With Joe Biden in there right now. That's exactly what they want. Lauren is on point. She is.
And again, I keep going back to that, bro. Like, it's not a party thing to me personally, right? To me, it's I spoke of it yesterday. The idea behind our leader, and those are ideas that I don't fully support. So if there was a better Democrat in line, I would have voted for somebody who shared ideas, right? Or at least protected the country.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I would have voted for Tulsi Gabbard.
No, you said that, yeah.
If you don't know who Tulsi Gabbard is, you know what? I'm going to pull up a clip of Tulsi and Kamala.
All right. So she was running for vice or what?
She was running for president.
Oh.
Versus Kamala.
So
yeah. This is going to be good right here.
Let's see.
Yeah, you were going to say? Well, I'm fixing this thing.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, so was there any update on the Cuban stuff? Like today?
I haven't seen much of it. The word is that the Cuban government pulled the plug on the internet, so now it's hard to get any live pictures or video from there. The hospital, I believe that was only one hospital. That's obviously not ideal. Doesn't seem, definitely not sterile conditions. Free healthcare sounds great, but then we have the government and your business is no good. Yeah, that too. And I'm not a fan of government in our lives. I'm not, and it shouldn't be like that. And the government's got no business. Less government is better. She's cool. Yep, I'm gonna show that in a minute. Hey, Lynn.
Hello.
Welcome. You're up late, you little night owl. You. What happened in South Africa? I heard there were riots. Oh, haven't read that one yet.
Oh, that
Haven't heard
looks
that
pretty
one
bad.
yet.
I think the president ended up getting sentenced to jail, still stealing millions of dollars or some stuff like that.
Oh crap!
So there's like a big riot.
Here, let's watch this for a couple of minutes here. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go.
You have criticized Hillary Clinton as the, quote, personification of the rot that has sickened the Democratic Party. What is the rot you see in the Democratic Party?
That our Democratic Party, unfortunately, is not the party that is of, by, and for the people. It is a party that has been and continues to be influenced by the foreign policy establishment in Washington, represented by Hillary Clinton and others' foreign policy, by the military-industrial complex and other greedy corporate interests. I'm running for president to be the Democratic nominee that rebuilds our Democratic Party, takes it out of their hands, and truly puts it in the hands of the people of this country, a party that actually hears the voices of Americans who are struggling all across this country, and puts it in the hands of veterans and fellow Americans who are
So this might not be the Kamala debate, but I'll pull that one up.
Bush, Clinton, Trump foreign policy doctrine of regime change wars, overthrowing dictators in other countries, needlessly sending my brothers and sisters in uniform into harm's way to fight in wars that actually undermine our national security and have cost us thousands of American lives. These are wars that have cost us as American taxpayers trillions of dollars since 9/11 alone, dollars that have come out of our pockets, out of our hospitals, out of our schools, out of our infrastructure needs. As president, I will end this foreign policy, end these regime change wars, work to end this new Cold War and arms race, and instead invest our hard-earned taxpayer dollars actually into serving the needs of the American people.
Thank you,
right here at home.
Senator Harris, any response?
Oh, sure. I think that it's unfortunate that we have someone on the stage who is attempting to be the Democratic nominee for president of the United States, who during the Obama administration spent 4 years full-time on Fox News criticizing President Obama.
That's
who
ridiculous,
has spent full-time,
That's
who has spent
ridiculous.
full-time criticizing people on this stage as affiliated with the Democratic Party. When Donald Trump was elected, not even sworn in, buddied up to Steve Bannon to get a meeting with Donald Trump.
Such a liar. God.
Fails to call a war criminal by what he is as a war criminal, and then spends full time during the course of this campaign, again, criticizing the Democratic Party. What we need on the stage in November is someone who has the ability to win. And by that, we need someone on that stage who has the ability to go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and someone who has the ability to rebuild the Obama coalition and bring the party and the nation together. I believe I am that candidate.
Thank you, Senator.
Yes.
Congresswoman Gabbard, I'll give you a chance to respond.
What Senator Harris is doing is unfortunately continuing to traffic in lies and smears and innuendos because she cannot challenge the substance of the argument that I'm making, the leadership and the change that I'm seeking to bring in our foreign policy, which only makes me guess that she will, as president, continue the status quo, continue the Bush, Clinton, Trump foreign policy of regime change wars, which is deeply destructive. This is personal to me because I served in Iraq. I left my seat in the state legislature in Hawaii, volunteered to deploy to Iraq, where I served in a medical unit, where every single day I saw the terribly high human cost of war. I take very seriously the responsibility that the president has to serve as commander-in-chief, to lead our armed forces, and to make sure always, no, I'm not going to put party interests first. I will put the interests of the American people
Thank you, Congresswoman. I want to briefly give Senator Harris a final second to respond.
I believe that what our nation needs right now is a nominee who can speak to all people, I spent my entire career standing mostly in a courtroom speaking 5 words, Kamala Harris for the people. And it was about all the people, regardless of their race, regardless of their gender, regardless of where they live geographically, regardless of the party with which they're registered to vote or the language their grandmother speaks. We need someone on this debate stage in November who has the ability to unify the country and to win the election. And I believe, again, I am that candidate.
Thank you for watching this.
Yeah, that's trying to find the other clip. She's one from Hawaii. Yeah, actually, she was born in Samoa, but then she was raised in Hawaii, so it's still an islander, Pacific Islander. KH only knows to deflect. Yep. Why are we viewing Obama? I know. Just trying to introduce some people to Obama. Trying to introduce some people to. You know what? I found it.
Let's take a look.
Oops. Here we go. This was a turning point. Definitely was a turning point. Let me pop this in here. Okay, here we go. You ready? Ready?
Ready. Really ready.
Issue with Senator Harris confronting Vice President Biden at the last debate. You called it a, quote, false accusation that Joe Biden is a racist. What's your response?
I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. That would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Senator Harris, your response?
So cash bail. She kept the system where bail was only granted with cash. So they wouldn't take, a house or a car title or a home title or anything like that. She wanted it to be cash only, where people wouldn't, a lot of people don't have access to cash, but they can put up their home, right?
Right.
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work. And I am proud of making a decision to not just give fancy speeches or be in a legislative body and give speeches on the floor, but actually doing the work of being in the position to use the power that I had to reform a system that is badly in need of reform. That is why we created initiatives that were about reentering former offenders and getting them counseling. It is why, and because I know that criminal justice system is so broken, that I am an advocate for what we need to do to not only decriminalize, but legalize marijuana in the United States.
I want to bring Congresswoman Gabbard back in. Your response.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that.
That's
and
true.
Wow.
Under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Senator Harris.
She's speechless.
My entire career, I have been personally opposed to the death penalty, and that has never changed. And I dare anybody who is in a position to make that decision, to face the people I have faced, to say, I will not seek the death penalty. That is my background. That is my work. I am proud of it. I think you can judge people by when they are under fire, and it's not about some fancy opinion on a stage, but when they're in the position to actually make a decision, what do they do? When I was in the position of having to decide whether or not to seek a death penalty on cases I prosecuted, I made a very difficult decision that was not popular to not seek the death penalty. History shows that, and I am proud of those decisions.
She avoided.
Dodged that one.
Yep. Totally dodged it. Totally dodged it.
Oh, I got my Facebook back, bro. I just sent you a message. Wow, cool.
Oh, you're on Facebook now. He's back. He's out of jail or suspension, whatever you were. Yeah, so let's talk about South Africa. What the heck is going on over there?
Yeah, that's another story. That's crazy, man. I was just reading about it, and they're like rioting and looting and setting buildings on fire. So
Worst violence in years spreads in South Africa as grievances boil over. I see some of these photographs.
wow,
Looting.
not a thing left behind.
Look at that. Empty shells.
Wow.
People in line, just trying to get probably whatever they can. Water.
Look at refrigerators.
Look at that. They trashed the ATM. So, crowds clashed with police and ransacked or set ablaze shopping malls and cities across South Africa on Tuesday, with dozens of people reported killed as grievances unleashed by the jailing of ex-president Jacob Zuma boiled over to the worst violence in years. Protests that followed Zuma's arrest last week for failing to appear at a corruption inquiry have widened into looting and an outpouring of general anger over the hardship and inequality that persists 27 years after the end of apartheid. So there's a lot of turmoil going on all around the world right now.
Looks that way, man.
Yep. Lynn says, "Hey, Abel, what's it like to be in Facebook jail? Just curious. do you not have any access, or just a blank page, or what? How was your?
It was different, man. Because I mean, there's been like years ago, I had gotten like I guess real Facebook jail where I couldn't even access anything, and this time around, I could see everything, but I couldn't comment. I couldn't react or message. So it's kind of weird. I mean, for me, that I'm pretty active on social media, unfortunately, but fortunately, it's like my avenue of where I like to put some of my thoughts. Sometimes I just take notes for myself there.
Yeah.
And not being able to for stupid things, man.
Yeah, that's frustrating. Sharky, what's up? Coming soon. What's coming soon? The rioting and all that crap. Why is Jill Biden going to pre-opening Olympics and not her husband? You probably can't handle the flight over there.
Man, that's terrible, but it's true.
That's hard travel. Even for regular people, that's hard travel. That's a long day of travel. So, more topics we will cover tomorrow. I think I'm going to pull the plug on this sucker tonight, Abel.
Let's go.
Yeah, we already passed the hour. Hey, now you guys who came by to stop by to say hello and interact with us, thank you so much. I know it's a little late.
All the night owls.
Too late for some, not late enough for others. Night owls are here. But we do appreciate you. And I'll figure out the next couple days. Abel is going to interview on this program. He's going to interview me. So, yep. Stay tuned for that one. We'll make that announcement as soon as we figure out what day. So, everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. Abel, thanks for being here, buddy. I know it's late for you too, actually, but
thank you.
Thanks for the good conversation. And everyone, we will see you tomorrow, most likely. Have a good night.
Y'all have a great night.